Welcome back to another episode of my top issues, but this time with the Redmi Note 10. But before we get into it, I just want to welcome back our subscribers, and if you're new here, I make tech videos of all sorts, so feel free to drop a sub to get notified of new content. Take note that these are my top issues that may or may not be deal breakers for you when purchasing this phone. My issues don't have to be yours, so go easy in the comments section. That said, let me start with the first one, which is that stereo speaker. The Redmi Note 10 is one of the few that delivers a stereo sound output at this price point. And while I laud Xiaomi's effort, I just wish the speakers on this one weren't so annoying. I'm not talking about the sound quality. Despite the lack of loudness, I definitely prefer this speaker setup over any single firing ones out there. I'm talking about the way the speaker punches the back panel of this phone that generates an awkward vibration to my hands. It's similar to the problem that I encountered on the Poco X3, which by the way I reviewed after 6 months. Check out the pop-up link in the top right corner if you haven't already. The vibration effect is minimized if you use a case on this phone, but for those who rock their phone without a case, it's going to be an annoying user experience. One of the main selling points of this phone is its 1080p AMOLED display. Compared to LCD, the colors are punchier and the peak brightness is higher. I've been using this phone for several weeks, and I can say that it's the cheapest path to a Samsung-like display on a phone that won't burn the pocket. But like most things, it's not perfect. I watch a ton of titles on Netflix whenever I have time, but Xiaomi just had to spoil the viewing experience by not officially supporting Full HD playback. That's right, you're stuck with low standard quality when watching your favorite titles on Amazon, Netflix, and other streaming services. It's been months since Xiaomi announced the Redmi Note 10, but so far I have yet to see an update that unlocks high-definition playback on Netflix. The third and probably the most worrying problem that I've experienced on this phone is the entire display turning green. It's kinda similar to the green tinging issues that are rampant on other phones like OnePlus, Samsung, and sometimes even Apple devices. So at one time, I woke the screen up from sleep and suddenly I noticed that the entire display was green. To make things worse, the display started shifting to a colorless, high-contrast abomination that left me immediately turning off the screen and turning it on again. Fortunately, that fixed the issue and I never saw it again. To be honest with you, I don't know what happened. I never dropped this phone and I handled it with extra care like all other devices. Could it be hardware or software related? I'm not sure, but I sure am glad that it didn't break the phone. In case you didn't know, Redmi Note 10 is one of the few budget phones that's capable of recording up to 4K resolution at 30 frames. The last time I saw this feature in a cheap phone, it was on the Realme 5i. While that achievement is genuinely praiseworthy, regardless of what resolution you're in, there are times when the phone stutters or drops frames during recording. I'm not sure what's causing it, whether the Snapdragon 678 isn't powerful enough to handle reliable video recording or MIUI has to do better in optimization, but I think it's still worth pointing out. I do have a 60-day review of the Redmi Note 10 up on the channel. You can check the links in the description and hopefully help you in deciding whether this phone is the right one for you. If you do have your own issues with this phone, share them in the comments section and maybe another user has a fix to your problem. That's about it for this one. Drop a sub or a like if you feel supporting the channel, and until the next one, stay safe.